Today is the day that I'm asking 200 people to contact my Congressman Tracy Mann, who represents the 1st District of Kansas and the U.S. House of Representatives. I'm never going to give you up. I'm never going to let you down. I'm never going to turn around, desert you. Hello? 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 Who is this? Who's it? Oh, hi. Here, let me put the comments on the stage. There we go. Look at all you wonderful people. What's happening? Yeah, today is Groundhog Day. Wake up, happy campers. I am trying to reach my representative, Tracy Mann. He has not responded other than a AI-generated copy pasta Wikipedia canned response. And apparently anyone who's emailing him about uncapping the House his office is sending the exact same canned response. I don't care if you're not in my district. Okay, so if you aren't in my district, email Tracy Mann anyway. The link to the information is in the description on YouTube here. Some of you are watching on Twitch. I see you, Tom. I see you, Darko. I don't care if you don't live in the 1st District of Kansas or if you don't live in Kansas at all. Only 3 million people live in Kansas. It's a really lightly populated state. We have a lot of cows here, a lot of chickens, but some of them are in Congress, but hardly any humans. So if you are outside of my district or outside of Kansas, if you could email Tracy Mann and ask him to respond to me, his constituent, and give me an answer on whether or not he supports uncapping the House. If you are brand new here to like what's going on, so I'm now determined to get Congress to pass a bill to expand the House of Representatives. It's 435. That's how many members of the House currently are there. 5 of them represent the state of Kansas. I'm in a district that's really huge. It's called the Big First. And I got gerrymandered into it, me and my fellow people that live in Lawrence, Kansas. But it's mostly Western Kansas. A part of the state that's very, very different than Eastern Kansas, especially northeastern Kansas. And so we're really at a place, gerrymandered us here into that district so that Republicans would stay in power. When I say they, I mean the state legislature, which is made up of mostly Republicans. Whatever, it happens. Every state does it. Democrats gerrymander too. Look at what they were doing in California. Look at what Illinois did. Both parties do it. Regardless, I feel like a lot of members of the House of Representatives do not represent our interests as Americans. They are out of touch. They listen to their donors instead of listening to their constituents. Maybe they'll go to the media sometimes, but overall, it's about who's given the money to stay in power or to get elected to begin with or reelected, whatever. These members of Congress, for the most part, are more incentivized to make special interests happy, power players, people that will help them personally versus helping their entire district. And it's not their fault. Most of the people in Congress are good people, including my representative, Tracy Mann. I'm sure he's a good person. I don't know him personally. But regardless, the system is designed to incentivize members of Congress only listening to donors or power players versus listening to their own constituents. And so 3 years ago, almost exactly 3 years ago, Mrs. Beat and I, we went to a town hall, which is the last town hall that I think my representative did anywhere near where we live. This is right when he first got into office. He's only been in office for about 3 years. And he did a Q&A, and we wrote our questions on a slip of paper, and then one of his assistants put all the questions in a fishbowl, and then Congressman Mann took the question out and then read them and then answered them. He got my question, and guess what my question was? It was, will you support uncapping the House of Representatives? In other words, will you support making the House of Representatives bigger than 435 members? And he said no. He didn't give a reason why. And so, to this day, 3 years later, it's like, okay, why didn't he give a reason why? But also, why is literally no one else bringing this up? Why does no one bring up this issue? Because you don't need an amendment to the Constitution. All you need is a bill in Congress. And guess what? There's not even one bill that currently exists that calls for expanding the House of Representatives. The last time the House of Representatives was expanded was in the 1920s, 100 years ago, and they capped it in 1929 with the Apportionment Act of 1929. They capped it at 435 members. There were temporarily 437 members of the House from 1957 to 1962 after Alaska and Hawaii became states. But after that, they went back down to 435, despite the fact that the United States, has more than tripled its population since 1929. We've had the same number of members of the House of Representatives. There are various reasons why I think it's a good idea to expand the House. So I'll go through some of those. I already told you Congress is out of touch with its voters. They're more likely to listen to the donors than their constituents. So expanding the House would bring representation closer to the people. Number two, it's far easier for special interests to dominate races that cost millions. With smaller districts, campaigns are less expensive, more competitive, grassroots becomes easier, and ordinary folks like you and me, I'm not really, I guess, ordinary. I'm an influencer now, but whatever. I'm just a schmuck in Kansas. It's more likely for us to actually run for office if we wanted to. It's not just rich people running for office or well-connected people. 3, the Electoral College sucks. It's undemocratic and unpopular. It gives small states way more advantage. It completely ignores the national popular vote. It allows minority presidents to gain power, as we've seen in recent decades. So expanding the House would make the Electoral College more democratic. 4, large districts tend to favor extreme candidates. Think of candidates like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's no longer there, but she was only able to win because of low turnout primaries. So expanding the House would lead to more competitive races, more ideological nuance, better reflect local variation in opinions, and just basically create more space for coalition building, people putting aside, these nationalized issues that often revolve around the culture war and focus on the stuff that people actually care about that's more local. Number 5, uncapping the House would lead to more fair apportionment among the states. With only 435 seats in the House, fast-growing states often get underrepresented. So I'm talking about Florida and Texas. This hurts Republicans just as much as it hurts Democrats. Texas and Florida both deserve more members in the House. Small population changes can wildly shift power. And this, we know about the population changes only because of the census, which is done every 10 years. I'm hoping to uncap the House before the next census, which begins in 2029, 3 short years away. And finally, my last reason for uncapping the House, the House expanded regularly throughout all of American history. The cap of 435 was only supposed to be temporary. So expanding the House is kind of just the normal conservative thing to do. Stagnation is the anomaly. So those are my main reasons for uncapping the House. And I've determined I'm going to become an activist on this one subject. So every day in 2026, I've been writing my Congressman, Tracy Mann, to ask him to uncap the House. So far, I have only got a canned response, and he did not answer my question, which is, why don't you support uncapping the House? In fact, he didn't even say whether or not he did or not. I only found out that he didn't support it because of that town hall that I attended 3 years ago. And also just, I have a former student that works for him in his office, and he told me. Otherwise, I won't even know this. Okay. So why am I live streaming today? Because today is Groundhog Day. No, today is February 2nd, 2026. And Sharon McMahon, I did a live stream with her a couple weeks ago, and she said somebody from Tracy Mann's office told her, if you can get at least 200 people to contact a representative, specifically Tracy Mann, within 24 hours, then they will actually pay attention to you. And so I've been reaching out to anybody today, even if you don't live in my district, like I said. But first and foremost, I reached out to friends and family. I already have at least 20, 25 people that have confirmed that they've contacted Tracy Mann about this. Already they're getting canned responses. Like Mrs. Beat already got a canned response. She got the exact same response that I got a few weeks ago. So they're not even answering. When they say they're responding, it's just a copy paste canned response. It's not a response. Okay. So yeah, I'm trying to get at least 200 people to contact him all at the same time. And so hopefully you could do that. Oh, thank you. Look at you. Forced to wipe. Thank you very much. Okay, so how do you do this? Again, if you're on YouTube, it's in the description of this video. Somebody asked about is that the transgender bill? I don't know. Hold on. I'll answer other questions a little later, but right now I want to focus on uncapping the House. Looks like there's a couple super chats. Can people flood my Senator Grassley too? I mean, yeah, please. If you want to also reach out, if you're an American, I know many of you are not American. Thank you for watching, by the way, because you're probably worried about our country right now. If you live in a different state or district, you can also contact your representative or senator and say, yes, I support uncapping the House. Could you please give me your opinion on this? Because this is an obscure issue. I'm just mainly trying to raise awareness about this issue. That's the whole point of this campaign I'm doing. And it's something I'm really passionate about. The reason why I'm so passionate about uncapping the House is because if you uncap the House, then you can literally solve all other problems in government. Let me give you an example. Right now, a lot of people are obviously and understandably freaking out right now, really upset about what ICE is doing. Immigration, Customs, and enforcement. That organization is terrorizing the streets of Minneapolis right now. They're murdering citizens. They're wreaking havoc across the nation. Okay. ICE, in my view, is a domestic terrorist organization. People are angry. They're protesting. We've seen protests every day for the past several months, which is good. But that's just one issue. There's other issues with government. Another big issue that people are concerned about right now, the affordability crisis. Especially young people can't afford to buy a home. Homelessness is at an all-time high. Every time you go to the grocery store, prices are going up. Okay? That's, again, just one issue, the affordability crisis. Another issue, healthcare. Okay? The people demand healthcare reform. We're not getting any healthcare reform. Another issue, how about the fact that the president is destroying every relationship with every other country on the planet other than authoritarian regimes? Okay, there are many different issues right now we could be focusing on. A lot of people want term limits. A lot of people want proportional representation. A lot of people want to end gerrymandering. A lot of people want to end corporate welfare. Look, all of these issues go back to one major essential root cause of all problems, and that is the representation crisis. We as American citizens are not adequately represented by our representatives. They are out of touch. They listen to donors, mostly thanks to Citizens United. Yes, whatever. That's, again, something that's more of a symptom than a root cause. We do not have representatives that give a crap about us. And it's a bit ironic, isn't it? Because so far, my own representative, I'm a constituent of the big 1st district in Kansas. He refuses to get back to me. He refuses to acknowledge that I exist. He ignores me. Everyone in his office ignores me. Even my former student, they're ignoring me. So this is what we're doing. Today I'm trying to get at least 200 people to all bug Representative Tracy Mann at the same time. Thank you so much. I'm trying. Thank you, Ricky. Heck yeah. If you've already emailed him, let me know in the chat. I want to hear from you. Hunter says, do you see that Noam's getting impeached by House and Senate? Well, the House of Representatives is actually they're the ones who impeach. Did they get a few Republicans to join Democrats? I would not be surprised if Noam is impeached. Yeah, because she's been making Republicans look bad. She said 200 to 300 people, Dr. AI. Link. If you check out, okay, let me put it in the chat right now. And actually, I'm also, here's the link to contact Tracy Mann. I'm also going to give him a call here again. I've been calling their office repeatedly as well, and no answer. You can put your own address in there. It doesn't matter. They still have to log it all the same. You're still like getting their attention. The whole point is to get their attention, to say, hey, a lot of people care about this one issue. But if you want to put a Kansas address, I'm not going to say anything. Don't lie. Also, be cordial. Please be nice. Do not be rude. Don't cuss this guy out, okay? I'm sure he's a nice person, okay? Especially the people that work in his office, they're probably overwhelmed, they're overworked and underpaid. So please do not be rude to them. But I contacted Cassidy every week for the past year, and he finally substantially replied the day after Trump endorsed his opponent. How about that? Talking about Bill Cassidy, senator from Louisiana. Good for you. I mean, Stephen Miller is clearly the main villain. He's clearly the straight-up fascist in government. I don't even call Trump a fascist. I think he just sometimes acts like that. Miller, I think, straight up is a fascist. That's my opinion, though. And by the way, you don't even have to agree with me on this issue, or on any issue, really. At the end of the day, this is Uncapping the House is a nonpartisan thing. It's completely like it gives you better representation. Whatever you and your neighbors care about, it should help you locally. It's about localism, which is pretty conservative, actually. Isn't it obvious why he doesn't support it? I love this cause, but I can't help but feel redundant. We are not redundant. Do not ever let a politician make you feel powerless or redundant. Okay? We outnumber them. They work for us. We are their boss. Bro, did you really just say you feel redundant? You have power. Don't look what's happening right now across the country. People are protesting. Look at every big movement in American history, whether it be the women's rights movement of the progressive era, where every single day you had hundreds of women march in front of the White House until they got the 19th Amendment passed, giving women the right to vote. The civil rights movement, every single day they marched. They did the sit-ins. They made themselves visible. They made it so that people couldn't go about their day-to-day lives and pretend like this stuff didn't exist. I have friends right now who stay out of politics. I just texted one. He's like, I don't like to contact political people. And I said, fine. Tell me what you care about, and I will tell the people in power that on your behalf, okay? Because the fact of the matter is, we live in a representative democracy, okay? Hey, buddy. I'm actually live streaming right now. Okay, I'll give a shout out to your channel. Okay, all right, bye. That was my friend Will of the channel. Well, if you search William Fox, he has a great social political science videos. Anyway, he emailed. Okay, how about you? Okay, we have power because we outnumber them. We live in a representative democracy. Okay, we live in a republic first and foremost, which means the law above all else. The law rules. But as you probably have noticed recently, a lot of politicians have been ignoring the law. So what does that mean? That means we need to get new politicians in there because we're also a representative democracy, not direct democracy, not democracy with a capital D. We are a representative democracy and a republic. Both are those true? They're true. It is time to fire a lot of politicians. Okay, that's the root of it. And yes, I get why he doesn't support it, because it reduces his own power. Why would a politician want to reduce their own power? Well, guess what? He's not the boss. They're not we are the bosses of them. So he may not want to lose power. It doesn't matter, buddy. We're in charge, okay? And again, we outnumber them. We have if you're paying attention to politics, you already have the advantage because most people don't pay attention to politics. And so all you got to do is convince all your apolitical friends and family to support what you care about, and then you can actually affect real change. I'm a Republican, but I support you, Mr. B. Well, thank you. Hey, look, I've voted for Republicans in the past as well. You're looking at somebody who's a big Bob Dole fan, okay? Ron Paul fan. I even like Rand Paul, Thomas Massey. I'm a libertarian more than anything. I'm sorry that your rep hasn't responded in Texas, but yeah, it's that. See, the root of the problem is this affects everyone because this is our core of who we are as a nation. We are a representative democracy. If you feel like you are not represented, like how many of us actually feel like our representative, even if it's the same political party as us, truly represents us? How many of us really? I mean, I don't think many of us can say that that's the case. And what's crazy is that the United States was like the first country in the modern era to really spearhead a representative democracy. And now pretty much every other representative democracy in the world does a better job representing its constituents because they have a better representative to constituent ratio. Here in the United States, the average representative is representing over 760,000 people. Compare that to like the UK, where the average politician or MP is, I think it's like 80,000 or something. George Washington, by the way, when he was at the Constitutional Convention, he was the president not only of this country, but of the actual Constitutional Convention. George Washington, the thing he cared about the most was fair representation. One of the few times he spoke up at the convention, because mostly he was just kind of listening to things. One of the rare times he spoke up was for an amendment to the Constitution called Article the First, meaning he thought it was the number one priority that we had for every one representative in the House, you had 30,000 constituents. So that means the ratio would be one rep for every 30,000 constituents. Well, today it's one for every 760,000. So if that was the case, we would have well over 1,000 representatives in Congress right now. Trump is legit giving me the irrational belief that the rest of the world is so much better than the United States. Yeah, I hear your frustration. Thank you for the super chats, guys. Not fully on board with you here, but still emailed. That Chris, if this is my friend Chris, thank you so much. You're a good friend. And you may not be fully on board with me now, but perhaps you need to hear other arguments. Okay. Let me just start with this. One common argument that I hear against uncapping the House is, well, a larger House would be dysfunctional. Okay, look, the House is already dysfunctional. And the House already operates through committees and rules, not floor debate. Okay? It's just a few gatekeepers that have all the power in-house. Dysfunction comes from incentives and polarizations, not the number 435. Size is manageable. Bad rules aren't. Remember, for those of you thinking like, oh, this would be more chaotic, there's really only a handful of people in the House that actually have influence to get bills to the floor to even be voted on to begin with. Christian Baller, I love your name. You should read The Righteous Mind by Jonathan Haidt. I didn't read it, but I listened to the audiobook. Admittedly, it's very good. I think he's a little alarmist, but he makes very valid points. Oh my gosh, it's Adam Mockler. Holy crap, I spammed him earlier about this. So thank you for the shout out, and thank you for the super chat, Adam. Big fan of the work you do. I emailed Tracy and my own oh, so you're not even in my district. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't know how to take that comment, but thanks for the super chat. Thank you for emailing Representative Mann. Hashtag go beat R. I love it. This is wonderful. This is really like lifting my spirits up here. So right now we have 685 people watching across Twitch and YouTube. That means at least, hopefully, 200 of you will contact my representative, Tracy Mann, to try to get him to give me one reason. Give me one reason, like Tracy Chapman said. She sang it. Give me one reason why you don't support uncapping the House. Okay? Just respond to me. Just respond to me, man. I've been writing him for 33 days straight and nothing. Nada. This is like the fact I even have like a bit of a following online. And he's still, no, I'm just going to ignore him. I'm just going to pretend. I guess am I on a no-call list? Maybe I am. Okay, then doesn't that make this even more, like, important? Doesn't this reinforce my point? If your own representative is ignoring you and blocking you, then perhaps we need more representatives. That would be great publicity, actually. I hope he did put me on a no-call list. I just got to find out. I just got to prove it, huh? Thank you, Emperor Tiger Star. You're a much smarter person than me and always have the facts readily available. The UK House has 650 seats for 69 million. I don't know what the ratio is. I have to do the math. I can't do that in my head. But yeah, somebody can do the math. It's a much better ratio than what we have here in the United States. All right, so I'm going to call. And thanks for the super chat, buddy. Subscribe to Emperor Tiger Star. Okay, I'm going to call Tracy Mann's office now and see if they answer. I can do this legally because I'm in Kansas. They're in DC, this office. So let's do it right now.
Hello, this is Congressman Tracy Mann. If you'd like to stay up to date on what I'm working on in Congress or want to request constituent services such as Capitol tours, please visit my website at man.house.gov. If you're a resident of the Big First District wishing to express your thoughts or concerns, please press 1.
Why, yes, I am.
If you're not a resident. Hi, this is Congressman Tracy Mann from Kansas Big First District. Thank you for contacting my Washington, D.C. office. I appreciate your taking the time to reach out and share your thoughts with me. I am unable to answer your call right now, but please leave your name, number, hometown, and a brief message, and me and my staff will get back to you as soon as possible.
Will you?
If you would like to send me an email, please visit my website at man.house.gov and submit a contact form. Thank you again, and God bless.
God bless. Yes, Representative Mann, I've been trying to reach you. My name is Matt Beat. Hopefully you've been getting my other messages and my many letters I've written. I've written 33 letters, and I'm just asking why you don't currently support uncapping the House of Representatives. So if you could please respond, let me know. I think it just will start with a great dialogue about why you don't support it, and it actually will help kind of me maybe still man my own beliefs on this, because I obviously passionately support uncapping the House of Representatives. So if you could please give me a call back. I know you have my number. I know you have my email. Thank you. That's what I get every single time. I get voicemail. They have not. The only time I got a response back was my former student calling me independently. Anyway, Nathaniel, thank you. As a fellow Kansan, you inspired me to contact my representative senators along with everything. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, please. And you don't have to just bring up uncapping the House. Obviously, what's going on in Minnesota is weighing heavily on most people's minds. That's like the biggest issue right now, I think. I hear police sirens. They're coming for me. Jeff, wow. Thank you. Speculating, why do you think man does not support uncapping the House? Does it have to do with possibly one party getting significantly more seats, or is it pride? They don't want more in their exclusive club. I emailed. Okay, that's the thing. Like in some states, Republicans would gain seats. Okay. Some of the most passionate supporters of uncapping the House that I've been working with so far when I've started doing more activist work with this are Republicans. The No Cap Fund. That's I'm doing their podcast tonight. I joined their board. I've been working with them. Most of them are Republicans. So I think this actually helps everyone. Sure, here in Kansas, you could cherry pick and say, okay, if we have the Wyoming rule, which is one of the most common ways we would expand the House, it basically says, okay, Wyoming will still just have one representative since hardly anyone lives there, but we would make that so that the rest of the states would be in proportion to Wyoming as far as their reps, and so that means that most other states would get a new rep, including, I think, Alaska. And that means that Kansas would get another rep. And what that would probably mean in Kansas would mean, yeah, we would go from 5 to 6 representatives. Currently, of the 5 representatives in Kansas, 4 of them are Republican, 1 is Democrat. I do think it would be 4 Republican, 2 Democrat. So it would hurt the Republican Party in Kansas. But guess what? If you look at the last presidential election, Kamala Harris got more than 41% of the vote in Kansas. Donald Trump got 57% of the vote in Kansas. So it would be more representative. And that's also why I'm a fan of like proportional representation. But yeah, that's the main reason why it would. In some cases, it would hurt their own power. But Tracy Mann, say we expanded the House, Tracy Mann would still be a representative in Western Kansas, where he lives, by the way, where he's from. And he's one of the reps who's actually there a lot. He's not like Roger Marshall, who's never in his home state, who lives in Florida. We call him Florida Man around here. Cyvlog, thank you. I wish critical thinking was compulsory. I hear you. Yes. That guy doesn't exist. Thanks for calling out Tracy. He does not represent us Kansans. I'm doing what I can. Thank you for your support. I contacted your rep in my own. Keep doing what you're doing, Mr. Beat. You're truly making a difference. Am I? I hope I am, but thank you so much. I appreciate. I mean, if you're contacting them, so far it appears that at least probably 35, 40 people have contacted him. So did you hear about the recent whistleblower? No, I have not. I'll have to look into this. Okay. This is great to see this much support on here. I just decided to go live last minute. I didn't know how many people would hop on here. But yeah, as you just saw, I tried calling Tracy Mann's DC office, which I think there's technically a government shutdown right now, but they were supposed to be back in the office today. And I think the shutdown's very short. They already reached a deal because the Senate agreed to negotiate on separating Department of Homeland Security funding from the rest of the funding. Which is good, I think. I agree with that. But E for Every Gamer, my first Patreon supporter. Mr. B, can you call my college to cancel class tomorrow? Okay, let's see what we can do here. What class is it? It better not be like a law class. All right. So if you're just now joining me, because I see some new people joined, what I've been doing every day in 2026, starting with New Year's Day to the present, this is day 33, I've been writing my congressman, Tracy Mann, who represents me, who's supposed to represent me here in the big first district of Kansas, asking him to give me one reason why he doesn't support uncapping the House, because that's my big issue. I think that's the one issue that solves all the other issues. He has yet to respond to that question, even though I'm his constituent. I have called him several times, not one call back from him. I've reached out to his media team to say, hey, can I get a short interview with you? I am media. Nothing. No response. The only reason why I know that he doesn't want to respond to me is because my former student told me. I think it out of the goodness of his heart, because he's a good person. So not very happy with my representative. And so I had a separate conversation with Sharon McMahon a couple weeks ago, week and a half ago. We did a live stream together. Check her out, by the way. She's basically the internet's version of me, but mostly on Instagram is her main platform. And she's much more eloquent than I am. Anyway, she actually did meet with somebody in Tracy Mann's office a couple years ago. And she told me that person told her that if you can get at least 200 to perhaps 300 people within 24 hours to all contact Tracy Mann's office at the same time, then to them it will show that's a signal that this is an emergency, that we need to pay attention to this. We need to respond to this. So I'm hoping to get at least 200 people today to all contact Tracy Mann's office. And I'm hoping that you watching this right now will do that. Please? Pretty please? Thank you, Ricky. It's a little cringe, but thank you very much. It's nice of you to say the kind words. All right, I'm probably going to wrap it up here because I think I've said what I need to. I guess, is anybody still skeptical? Heck yeah, Emperor Tiger Star. Is anybody still skeptical about uncapping the House? Because I do have other arguments against your arguments against. I mean, if that makes sense, okay, let me give you another example. Here's another common argument I hear against uncapping the House. Well, people don't want more politicians. And I get that sentiment because, yeah, who wants more politicians? But one reason why politicians are so cringe and awful is because there's not that many of them. Think about it. Oversized districts create alienation. People don't want unreachable politicians, out-of-touch politicians. If you expand the House of Representatives, if you have more politicians, then each one of them has less power. Each one of them is more likely to respond to you. Each one of them is less likely to be corrupted by special interests or corporate donors. It's just a matter of, diffusing power is really what it is. You're diluting power, you're diffusing power, which is a big reason why people in Congress currently don't want to uncap the House, because their own power would be diminished. So the only ones who would be for keeping the House at 435 would probably be the current 435 members of Congress. So that makes this even crazier. But guess what? They do respond to your pressure. If you pressure them, they do respond. What's another criticism of uncapping the House? Throw them at me. Bring it. Bring it. Thank you, Quad. Did you have a question, though? Thank you for contacting him, Decoy. Thank you so much. Vlog again, one of my original subscribers. I always appreciate you, from the UK. In my view, for what it's worth, being British, there should be more representation for the growing population. It's just common sense, right? The country keeps growing, so should the House of Representatives. It's common sense. Some of you are mentioning other reforms like age limits, term limits, getting money out of politics. I'm telling you, uncapping the House will solve a lot of these problems because Congress will get younger. The turnover will be higher. You'll have fewer. If we uncap it to 30,000 people per representative, we would have, I think, around 1,100 representatives. That's okay. A common question I get in response to this is, well, where would they all go? The Capitol can't fit them all. Well, for starters, did you know that the vast majority of offices for our members of Congress are not in the Capitol? Most of them have offices across the street in other buildings. They go to the Capitol to vote, but even then, they can vote off-site. We have this thing called the internet. You're watching me on the internet right now, right? You can work from home. In fact, this might encourage a lot of reps just to stay in their home district and be maybe a little bit more accessible, huh? Let's hear some other arguments against uncapping the House. I want to try to reduce skepticism. Yes, I have covered ranked choice voting. I have several videos about it. If you just search Mr. Beat ranked choice voting, they should pop up. I am fired up about this. Yeah, well, I mean, because things are kind of getting crazy in this country. Like, I'm 44 years old now, and things have never been like this my entire life in the United States of America. I had problems with every president. I had problems with every Congress. But this is different. What's going on now is different. And I feel like more than my entire life, my own representatives just don't give a crap about me. And I think most Americans can relate to that sentiment. Osbers, hey, representation in the UK is so good that I can literally cycle around my district. There you go. See, let's make it in the United States. Well, that's pretty much impossible in the United States since we're so huge here. It's a much more compact area in the UK, but I get your point. Yeah, though, if you do drive just a few miles that way from where I live, you'll be in another district because, again, my district is gerrymandered so much. They just got a left-leaning area of the state lumped in with mostly red-leaning area, conservative-leaning area. That's why. Anyway, Osbers, the legend, one of my earliest supporters. Thank you for being here. Gregory, thank you, Mr. B. Leave that poor man alone. He doesn't want to take your favorite vaccine. Okay. It would probably make it harder to gerrymander, right? Absolutely. That's one of the biggest benefits for uncapping the House is making it so that gerrymandering would be more difficult. Granular, I don't know what you mean by that. I'm not that smart, but I'll look into what you're talking about. From all the research I've seen, it should make gerrymandering more difficult. At least partisan gerrymandering. I should stress that. Christopher, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Mr. B, I love your videos. Keep doing you. Would this complete redistrict the whole country? Also, can I email Tracy Man if I live in Florida? Yes, you can. Somebody asked this earlier. You can just say you're emailing on behalf of me. Yeah, this would affect the whole country. But really, like the long-term goal, we have other goals too. Obviously, proportional representation, a parliamentary system would be superior to what we have now in terms of also, I think, the executive branch. But those are separate issues. I'm trying to stay laser focused on uncapping the House. But please, yes, if you're outside of the district, I'm not going to stop you from contacting my representative. Joey, it feels like citizen pressure never changes anything. I'm probably being very short-sighted, but do you have any recent examples of this succeeding? Or already, the reason why Kristi Noem is probably going to get impeached is not because of politicians. It's because of you. It's because of citizens. Look at the fact that ICE is kind of reversing what it's doing in Minnesota. It still sucks there, by the way. They have not completely left. But, okay, public pressure with Jimmy Kimmel recently. That's another example. Some of the boycotts recently have been working. I mean, it seems like sometimes you're shouting at the wind, but look at all of us right here. Okay? All we have to do is tell two people that we know, a family member, a friend, and then that will the potential for our influence to be exponential. It could be exponential just for what we're doing right here now today, trying to raise awareness about uncapping the House. But yeah, recent example, I mean, all of American history. The Civil Rights Movement is probably my favorite example, the Progressive Era. Look at some of the movements that happen around, even going back as far as Andrew Jackson, the first time you saw actual democracy where ordinary people had influence versus just the elites, you know. Don't give up. Don't let powerful people think you don't have power. Yosemite, thank you. Just emailed my rep for the first time ever about uncapping. I hope that we will uncap the House. Thank you for doing that. Thank you so much. An uncapped House can only benefit the people and hopefully lead to other parties in Congress. Well put, man. I love it. I love it. And thanks for the super chat. Thank you all for your support with this. I was going to end the stream, but people keep having super chats, so I'll stick around a little bit. Democratic Party needs to drop the anti-Second Amendment stuff, and they will win. You know, as somebody who is very pro-Second Amendment, I agree with you. Although we can still have universal background checks, am I right? Info dumps. Would it be worth it to petition the Democratic candidates for the Kansas 1st District? I've already reached out to them, haven't heard back yet. There's not very many of them. There is an organization I found on Twitter that's like Democrats of the Big First, but they're not very active on social media. So, but I think I'm going to pursue that. That's kind of part of the next step. By the way, this is like, I have a long-term strategy for this project. Hopefully this will make a great video one day, but this is all part of a big master plan that I have. Okay. I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve. Based on, well, it kind of depends on what the congressman decides to do. If Tracy Mann decides to meet with me immediately, then this could go a different direction. If he doesn't meet with me, if he doesn't respond at all, this could go a completely different direction. And I can tell you, Tracy Mann is not going to like that direction at all. If he thinks he's going to win this, I'm sorry, man. Good luck to you. I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve, like I said. Okay. Scoop Man, thank you. I can't believe people are using building occupancy as an excuse to not have more representation. I know, right? Like, who the heck cares? And you can also build more buildings. Like, it's one of the ridiculous. I've heard that argument multiple times. My dad brought it up, but props to my dad, my freaking dad. I love that man. He's been sticking up for me. He wrote. He doesn't. I don't even know if he agrees with uncapping the house, but he wrote Tracy Mann today. And he said, if he's not responding to you, you need, like, he was getting all worked up about this when I was talking to him on the phone last night. Also, shout out to Mrs. Beat, who I know that she's not passionate about like I am, but I won't shut up about it. And so she sent an email today. My father-in-law, he's like, okay, could you write the email for me and then I'll send it? And we're like, yes. So, you know, like, I appreciate, especially my friends and family who, you know, are not passionate about this, who are helping me out today. But thank you for the kind words. Wow, that's quite the PFP. Can you keep up the momentum and try to get any representative on the line? You want me to call again? I'll probably just get voicemail again. I'll call again. Yeah, let's call again. Give him a call. Okay, hold on. I gotta look up the number again. Because I somehow don't know how to use my phone. Hold on. Okay, I'll just call them again.
Hello, this is Congressman Tracy Mann. If you'd like to stay up to date on what I'm working on in Congress,
I don't know about that.
And services such as Capitol tours, please visit my website at man.house.gov. If you're a resident of the Big First District wishing to express your thoughts or concerns, please press 1. If you're not a... Hi, this is Congressman Tracy Mann from Kansas Big First District.
See, they don't answer.
Thank you for contacting my Washington, D.C. office.
They don't answer.
I appreciate you taking the time to reach out and share your thoughts with me.
They don't. What am I going to do? Leave another message? They don't answer. Maybe I'm on a block list. I don't know at this point. Thank you, Mr. Monopoly. When are we going to see you stream some Democracy 4? I heard about that game. I've had multiple people email me about that. I don't know. I've been more preoccupied with this kind of stuff lately. But, you know, maybe when things settle down, hopefully, in this country. Gregory, are you the same Gregory that emailed me? At the rate Trump's administration is moving, the entire world will be fundamentally transformed in 4 years. I sure hope not. Mrs. Beat says, it's time to get off. You're crashing out. Okay, I'm gonna end it. So I'll probably be live streaming also on other platforms here shortly, because today's an important day. We're trying to get 200 people to maybe 300. I think we're gonna get 300 people to reach my congressman to tell him to get back to me about uncapping the House. So thank you if you've already emailed him or called him, thank you in advance for that. Maybe I'm getting voicemail because so many people are calling him. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. We'll see. But otherwise, I just appreciate you all for, donating and watching and supporting this cause and just being passionate about civics. That alone is a pretty big freaking deal. So thank you for that. And, just remember Epstein didn't kill himself. See you later.